one voice raised in love is a seed sown in the dust. That one voice makes a difference.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Wright, Dr. Wright, according to the University of Michigan. I practice and have done so in Washington State for the last 40 years, for 37 of those at the Tahoma Clinic, which is currently in Renton, Washington. I'm the medical director there. I've been asked to explain the tools we use in helping to prevent and treat disease. To shorten it up, I simply call them natural substances and natural energies. Now, most of us know what natural substances are, why they are food, they are water, they are components of food, such as vitamins, minerals, they're botanical remedies. All of those are substances that we can reach out and touch, and most of the time they can be ingested and the body uses them to make substance of the body. But we all know that the body is more than just a collection of chemistry. For example, one thing that we all know is that nerves run on electricity, and the electricity runs down the nerve and it makes the finger contract and so forth. And that is a very, very natural energy. Now, what we don't know is that there are many, many other natural energies that impact the body. For example, sunshine. Why, that's a whole lot of frequencies, isn't it? And one of those frequencies, when it strikes the skin, makes the precursor of vitamin D. Now, we do know about that, but there's also infrared. Infrared comes from the sun. It's just a different wavelength. We can't see it. That's why it's called infrared instead of red. But it's another set of wavelengths. And Japanese researchers found out that when they put experimental animals into infrared saunas, why, those animals' bodies, and excuse me here, I'm going to get this fixed, those animals' bodies, inside the blood cells, they made initially 1,400% more nitric oxide, which is a substance, but the production of that was induced by the infrared energy. What's nitric oxide? Any of you have seen one of those commercials for erectile dysfunction? It's the stuff that those drugs block from breaking down, and if there's more nitric oxide, why, guys don't have as much trouble. Okay. Well, in addition to using a patent medicine drug, which keeps the levels higher, why not get some infrared, which we can get from sunshine or an infrared sauna? And those Japanese researchers found that the level of nitric oxide went up by 1,400% to start with, and then after that it settled down to a steady state of 50% more than we had before, than the animals had before. And researchers in New York, then working with people with congestive heart failure, the ones who went in the infrared sauna, as compared to the ones who did not, had an improvement of one entire category. There's 4 categories of New York State classifications of congestive heart failure by using infrared. Infrared energy, because they dilated the blood vessels that go to the heart. It literally dilates the blood vessels everywhere, not just at one place, guys. And so they had better heart function. There's many, many other natural energies. The Earth has this big old electromagnetic field. And right now, I don't know if everybody knows, but the magnetic field of the Earth is at its low ebb. People are thinking maybe there's going to be a pole shift. Who knows? But what has to do with health is that many surgeons now are using magnets to help things heal that won't heal. Broken bones that won't heal. They use magnets. That's magnetic energy. All right, there's another one. Now, hardly anybody knows that homeopathy is energy medicine. It's not just substance, because when the homeopathic remedy is diluted out this far, it's diluted so far that nobody can find any molecules anymore. So how does that work? Well, somebody took 2 vials. In one they put the homeopathic remedy, and they did all the dilution and shaking and dilution and shaking and dilution and shaking, till when it went out to the point where nobody could find any molecules in it anymore, For the technically inclined, that's called past Avogadro's number. But for everybody else, they just couldn't find any more molecules because they diluted it and diluted it and diluted it. The other vial just had water, and they did the same process. They shook it, they diluted it, and shook it and diluted it. And when they got it way out here to something like 100 C dilution, they then put it in a machine which picks up frequencies. And the homeopathic remedy had a discrete frequency at a certain wavelength, and the water, no discrete frequencies. Where have we heard of frequencies? AM and FM radio. They give a signal and it can be translated into sound energy. Frequencies from homeopathics, those frequencies communicate with the cells of the body. Homeopathic medicine is energy medicine. There also, by the way, for those of you who'd like to look it up, is healing with sound. And I'm not talking about Mozart. Mozart is very good for calming and relaxing, but there has been at Ohio University now, in southeastern Ohio, an institute that has been studying for 20 years the effect of sound on health. What they can do is analyze one's voice, find which frequencies are present and which are missing. The frequencies which are missing, when they're supplied through earphones, help people get better. Quackery? No natural energies. And if in our free country we are allowed to continue studying such safe natural energies as sound and light and magnetism and so forth, without fear of raids or having our machinery smashed, there will be dramatic advances over the next 20 to 30 years. So those are some examples of natural energies. We put that together with natural substances. We've got a complete package for the prevention and treatment of disease. And under no circumstances am I criticizing emergency rooms and emergency surgeries, and the use of patent medicines in some emergencies are life-saving. But for routine things that aren't total life-saving emergencies. By the way, there's natural substances and natural energies which are life-saving too. But what we should have is the right to choose what we're going to use for our own health. So, once again, let's bring all the soldiers home to fight for freedom in the United States. Thank you.
You can make a difference.
Just wanna make a
Just
difference.
wanna make a difference.
Oh, I wanna make a difference.
You can make a difference. Just wanna make a
Just wanna
difference.
make